I want to thank you all for coming. Particularly want to thank ICANN. As was mentioned, I go way back with ICANN. I was in the first Focus class in 1986. So Fran, it's great to see you. Gail Browning is one of my true heroes in life. If you don't know about emergenetics, you need to find out about it. Even though it's going to take up part of my 7 minutes, I'll tell a quick story about Gail, who I was talking. We talked back and forth early in my career, and she knew I was just wound really tight, you know, and Gail's very good at people that are wound tight like me, and so she said, Rick, you just need to do something. I said, well, when was the last time you flew a kite? I don't want to fly a kite. Well, why don't you just get in your car and just drive with no destination in mind, just drive. So I've been worried about that for 25 years. I haven't done any of that. The other thing I want to do is thank the people of Barrett Home. They are intelligent. I will tell you they are inspiring, and they're people of the highest integrity. And I mean that sincerely, and without them, I wouldn't be here today. So thank you. When I was first given this topic, as I watched the cards, they said, can you speak? And I said, yeah, I think I can get it all out in 77 minutes. And they said, 7 minutes. And I said, okay, so we'll get it done. I'm managing partner of an organization which is different than most of yours in that it's not top down. There are 45 partners. It's horizontal. Everybody has a vote. And so collaboration becomes a key. Just coming from the top down is not only impractical, it's impossible. So you have to work together. So I thought what I would share with you today are 5 things that I've learned in my role over the last 8.5 years that are crucial in leadership in that structure, and I think in yours. Number 1, the thing I learned early on was we're all going to make mistakes. We make them, and so the question is, what do you do? So you address the mistake, you admit it, then you address it, and then you move on. And leaders, or people at least in leadership roles, screw every one of these up. You've got to admit it. You've got to look at what's happened. You have to address it quickly. And you got to move on. I get a lot of wisdom from great places. I saw a refrigerator magnet that said, basically the thrust of it is, don't let too much of yesterday take up today. That's really a key for mistakes. So number 1, you're going to make mistakes. I make them all the time. Admit them and move on. Number 2, when you get in a leadership role, sometimes people aren't forthcoming with feedback, so you got to solicit feedback. It's very important. You go out and ask for feedback. More importantly is that you act upon the feedback that you receive. I had one of my partners come in my office and sit down a few years ago. And he was very genuine. I thought it was one of those feel-good meetings. And he said, you know, you're really good about asking for feedback. So thank you very much. But sometimes when you get the feedback, you get angry. And you debate with me about it. Or you don't pay attention. And I'll tell you, at that point, you're back at number 1. You made a mistake. You've got to solicit it, but you have to have a genuine interest. Doesn't mean you acquiesce to it, but you have to listen to it and appreciate the feedback you're getting. Number 3, every time you hit a key decision, at some point, you're going to face all sorts of key decisions. You got to think about what's motivating your response. What's motivating your decision? That's where the self-awareness comes in. And if at any point in that process it's more about you than the organization, then you've lost. So when you get to those points in life, the self-awareness point is look at it and do what's in the best interest of the organization. I'll tell you, if you do that, you're going to be wrong sometimes. That's okay. You're going to be able to sleep at night, and that's very important, and it's the best thing for the group. Number 4, Roy Williams was coach at the University of Kansas. He's a trader. He went to North Carolina. I'm a KU grad, so, but we're happy where we're at. But he started every practice with a saying. He'd get the basketball players around or some philosophical moment. And one of them that he repeated every year for his team is, it's amazing how much you can accomplish if you don't care who gets the credit. It's amazing how much you can accomplish if you don't care who gets the credit. It's an incredible lesson. Let me give you a little insight about the major law firms in this country. Their compensation models are based upon origination. So if you originate clients and you originate fees, your compensation is impacted. It's a plus. The more you originate, the better it is. The more you control that work, the more you get compensated. The more you put your hands around it and don't share it, the more you're compensated. Well, that's exactly contrary to what Roy and the many people that he stole that line from was talking about it. If you have a system, a structure in place that compensates people for personal development rather than acting for the team, you lose once again. So you want a mantra to leave here with, that's a good one to remember. It's amazing how much you can accomplish if you put team ahead of self. Lastly, the thing that's taken me the longest to learn in this role is everybody's got a story. Everybody, 100% of the people have something that they carry with them that you don't know about. You know your own story. You know all the baggage or whatever else it is about you, but everybody's got something. They've got a dependency. They've got a family member with a dependency. They have debt problems. They have marriage problems. The list goes on and on. You don't have to drill down to what those are. You don't have to know what the problem is. But what you have to know is you can't treat everybody with a cookie cutter because they're all different. They've got their own story. So you have to be willing to sit, listen, make an effort to understand, and work with them. Those 5 things, I think, will help, and it's a pleasure being here today. Thanks.